Ever since the sequel trilogy came to an end, concluding the story of characters like Rey, Ben Solo, Palpatine, Luke, and others out there that are a part of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans have also been looking forward to what Favreau and Filoni have in store for the overall Mandoverse and other new Star Wars eras that are being created as we speak. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we are currently in a very interesting position for Star Wars because there's a lot of things coming our way. We have Hayden Christensen training for the role of Anakin Skywalker again right now. In fact, a lot of sets are being built for the Ahsoka Tano series right now as we speak to be prepared for filming during the summer for a lot of the Anakin Skywalker oriented scenes, which we will be going over in just a couple of weeks' time. There's a lot of things happening with the Ahsoka Tano show. So far it's being a very smooth process, especially with the early development phase, pre-production, and now heading into principal photography. There's a lot of work being done on the Ahsoka series. It's going to be very high budget, it's going to be very movie-like, and it's going to have that tone of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show as well. So, moving beyond all of this, one thing that a lot of fans have been very curious has a lot to do with the deleted scenes of The Rise of Skywalker. Now, we already know that there has been so much footage that was thrown into that movie that never saw the light of day because of Kathleen Kennedy. In fact, even Ian McDiarmid, alright, the guy who plays Palpatine, he himself even said that there is so much Palpatine footage to work with that it could have been its own movie almost. They had so many different endings, so many different scenarios that went pretty much either A, finished or unfinished, or partially filmed or partially edited, whatever have you. There was a lot of work done for the Battle of Exegol scenes. Now, with that being said, however, Bob Chapek is very busy with a big plan for the 4-hour cut of Episode 9. Now, with George Lucas now involved as a co-writer for multiple new Star Wars TV shows in the works, creators Jon and Dave Filoni are beginning to prepare to film the Ahsoka Tano TV show for Disney Plus that is set to debut in 2023. However, it's noted that currently Disney is making a very big decision for the planned Rise of Skywalker 4-hour cut that is set to debut by the end of next year if everything goes smoothly in the process. Currently, Disney is set to include an alternate ending in the Rise of Skywalker 4-hour cut that is described to be labeled as canon eventually, that will involve never-before-seen footage between Palpatine, Ben Solo, and Rey during the Battle of Exegol. This alternate scene was already shot and edited before the film arrived in theaters, however was deleted from the final cut by Kathleen Kennedy, and was the final ending before what we saw in the finalized version of the film. The alternate ending to Episode 9 is set to feature a full-on battle between Palpatine, Ben Solo, and Rey, where both Ben and Rey are set to team up. The plan by Disney is to make it canon that in between the moment Rey and Ben finish off the Knights of Ren and Palpatine's guards, that they engage in a battle against Sidious, where Palpatine is set to cast a streak of Force lightning against both Ben Solo and Rey to where they block the strike using their lightsabers. The scene that was already filmed is going to be able to show fans on, of course, Disney Plus in 2023. The scene continues to involve a moment in which Ben Solo and Rey are blown backward by Palpatine's Force lightning to where they are knocked down and get back up, lifting their sabers to where they stand together. Die together line comes into play again. So let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, in case you guys didn't know, there are tons of endings of Episode 9 that were filmed by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, many of which were finished, talking about, of course, being filmed and edited and such, but a lot of which went partially filmed or partially edited, not completed, essentially. This is the one ending that was pretty much completed from start to finish during the Battle of Exegol, and was the other ending before they chose the one that they included in the final cut that we have today. So this is going to be the one that will be labeled as canon in the 4-hour cut of Episode 9 that will debut by next year during the holiday season if development goes very smooth, which it should. I don't see why it wouldn't. But when you look at things like this, having both Ben and Rey standing against Palpatine in a more extended confrontation, it makes a lot more sense. and it kind of adds more tension to the scene. But I digress. Now, the scene then moves on to a moment in which Palpatine uses the life force technique again and becomes whole again, just like in the final cut. However, this time around, Disney is prepared to involve Palpatine using his lightsaber against Ben Solo, with an unconscious Rey on the ground in the background. The battle between both Ben and Palpatine using their sabers against each other is said to be brief, but powerful, where Ben uses Anakin's saber dropped by Rey against Palpatine's new red blade that has a Dooku-like hilt. Now, let me just stop right here for a second. You guys may recall back, I believe it was during the fall of 2019, there was a lot of talk about Palpatine having a Dooku-like curved blade, or hilt I should say, and that kind of does match together with what we're talking about right now. Obviously, this really does raise a lot of questions. Exactly where did Palpatine get this saber made? How did he obtain this? It could be anybody's, to be honest. It could be the Dark Acolytes that were supposed to be in the film. It could also be a Sith Acolyte. Who knows? It could be anything around those lines. The one thing, though, that I think a lot of fans need to remember is that even, of course, Daisy Ridley said this, that there were so many different endings that were filmed for Episode 9 during the Battle of Exegol that there was more to work with than ever before. Now, that's exactly why we did not get that trailer, or even the teaser trailer, I should say, for holiday of 2018, you guys may recall. Everybody was wondering, where's the trailer? It's supposed to be out. It was supposed to come out in December. It didn't come out, but they saved it all the way until Star Wars Celebration to actually have that teaser of Rise of Skywalker. So that's exactly why we didn't get any shred of footage until April of 2019, pretty much. So on top of all of this, alright, moving on from where it picks up here, is that a couple of strikes are exchanged before Ben Solo is then also force pushed onto the ground as he slowly gets up to face Sidious again, only to be thrown into the pit just like how we saw in the final cut of the movie. So you can see how they're adding in scenes and connecting it to already existing footage. This scene then progresses to a point in which Rey then faces Palpatine just like in the final cut, where Force Lightning is being thrown at Rey. However, this time around, Ben Solo's voice is heard speaking to Rey via their Force bond while he's down in the pit, climbing his way back up, where Ben Solo is helping Rey defeat Palpatine once and for all, telling her how to focus on the light. Adam Driver did some voiceover work for the scene during the summer of 2019 that was eventually cut, to where Ben Solo tells Rey they are with you, they are always with you, most likely referencing the Force ghosts that are guiding Rey as well in the scene, to where Palpatine is eventually destroyed, just like in the final cut. Now, this is the one that they want to make officially canon in the 4-hour cut of Episode 9. We're also going to be able to see all the different scenarios of the endings of Episode 9 that will be labeled as non-canon in the 4-hour cut. They have a system that they're working on where it's going to show you exactly which scenes are going to be labeled as canon and which scenes will be labeled as non-canon. And it seems like it's going to be a bit of a confusing mess, to be honest, but it kind of gives you a better scenario to at least watch something entertaining between all these different characters that we have all known and love. To be honest, you know, some fans may very well question, is this a waste of time? Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But let me know what you guys think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.